everyone, great afternoon. So in celebration of the most festive time of the year, Decaf Coffee Republic brings you Brewing Live Season 4. Brewing Live is a community service of Decaf Coffee Republic, and we are now on our 4th month of serving in the digital space. Our heart is to fill your digital cup with great stuff that matters and ignite your space with opportunities for impact, income, and influence so that you can experience transformation in different areas of your life through the platform of life coaching, especially during this joyful season. Decaf Coffee Republic is a coaching hub and the home of certified life coaches where inspiration begins and transformation happens through the platform of life coaching. Our physical space is located inside Pioneer Center or PC along Pioneer Road, corner Brixton, and United Streets, Capitolio, Pasig City. Our hub is open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily for dine-in, pick-up, and delivery of your premium drinks and nutrilicious food. Plant-based meal is also available to help you keep fit and healthy, especially during this time of pandemic. And also, the good news po is may bago tayong pwedeng itry in Decaf. So that's bibingka. So if you're a fan of bibingka or if you want to experience yung holiday mood, so I invite you to visit our coaching hub, that's Decaf Coffee Republic. And for coaching services, we do offer coaching services on demand 24/7. Just connect with Coach Rizel through 0917-586-1661 any time of the day and any day of the week. Again, guys, thank you for joining me today. Please do tag a friend in the comment below and share this link to your Facebook timeline, group, or Facebook page so that we can reach more people and help transform lives. Decaf Brewing Live is in partnership with Coach A Coaching Club, the premier club for coaches and entrepreneurs. Our mission as club members is to create massive impact by turning our talents into income and influencing the people in our chosen domain and territory through the platform of life coaching. Our club will open for batch 3 this coming January 2021. I'm a proud member of batch 1 and I'm seeing some of the coaches there na naging batchmate ko doon. So yun, we are from batch 1, batch 2 ngayon, they are on month 4 and I'm excited to see you sa batch 3. So yun, we invite you to join us in. And please do connect with Coach Rizel through 0917-586-1661 to know more about how you can be part of Coach A Coaching Club and benefit from this learning opportunity with Master Coach A. And also, ang gandang start ng 2021 if you're going to enroll dun sa Coach A Coaching Club kasi that will start on January. So yan. So for today's episode, I will share to you the star, courage at the first Christmas. So anything you have in mind that you want to share with us right now, to share with me or dun sa fellow viewers natin. So this will be our topic na pag-uusapan natin this afternoon. So what do you think about the star and what can you say about the courage at the first Christmas? Are you familiar with the Christmas story? So if yes, comment below and sige, let me check kung sino na po yung present. May attendance, no? Yung yan. So hello fellow coaches. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. And yun, okay, so yung presentation ko for this afternoon is inspired by this devotional. So this is from the story of the first Christmas, a 5-day devotional presented by YouVersion. So if you're not familiar or this is your first time to hear YouVersion, YouVersion is an online and mobile Bible platform published for Android, iOS, Windows Phone, and many other operating systems. It also supports a variety of other platforms. So ako ang ginagawa ko kasi diba lagi ako nag-travel before and nahihirapan akong dalhin yung Bible ko kasi malaki siya. So I downloaded this app para anytime I can read pa rin yung mga devotions, I can still reflect, and if ever traffic, diba, lalo na pag traffic, ayan, doon ako nagbabasa. Right, so As we begin, I invite you to intentionally learn from this episode and earn wisdom, strategies, and techniques as you give generously to the advancement of life coaching and support our fellow change agents in practice of the profession. So for your love gift, you may click the link. So here's the link. It's www.paypal.com/paypalme/brewinglife. It's also indicated in the caption of this Facebook Live. So giving is earning the opportunity to be blessed and to be a channel of God's blessing. So I am inviting you to say yes to the privilege of giving honor to whom honor is due. Thank you for your generous heart. And as we always say, so I have here this bag, or yung imagine that this bag, this yung mga laman niya or yung mga gifts niya, ito yung mga ibibigay mo sa friends mo. And now you are attending this session. Imagine that what you're going to learn from this session, yun yung ibibigay natin sa kanila. Since, di ba, limited pa rin yung galaw natin, limited pa rin yung movement, limited pa rin yung travel. And siguro, yung iba sa atin, it's not possible for us to visit yung mga friends natin. So, we are connecting with them virtually, di ba? So, yun, I encourage you to be intentional as you listen to the talk and as you encounter aha moments. Aha moments, yung mga learnings natin or something that you really like or words or thoughts that moves you or something that you want to share in the community. So, please share it in the comment box or when posting it in any of your social media account with the hashtag #PackMyBagMoment. So please also include yung hashtag Decap Brewing Life so we will know na nakuha nyo yung learning na yon from this episode or sa segment ng Decap Brewing Life. So, ayan. So, imagine natin yung learnings mo na yan, gift siya, tapos you're going to share it to other people, to your friends, kahit lang messenger na share mo siya sa friend mo. So, that will be a great blessing na sa ibang tao. And let us be a blessing today. And again, if this is your first time to meet me, if this is your first time to see me dito sa Facebook Live or kahit dito sa Facebook, no, or dito sa page na to, I am Coach Lyn. I a professional life coach with coaching focus on self-care, branding, purpose, and productivity. I am a registered electrical engineer and currently I'm an OSH practitioner. Tapos I'm taking masters then and my focus of research is about mental wellness in the workplace. Okay, so you can, full name ko na po yung Lyn. Kasi minsan may mga nagtatanong kung nickname lang ba daw yung Lyn. So yung full name ko is Lyn Garcia. So you can call me Lyn or Coach Lyn. So that's me. Next is, this is my question for you before we start yung presentation or yung topic natin for this afternoon. Have you ever been at a place in your life where you ask these questions? God, what is going on? And then, what are you doing to me? And have you ever wondered what it was like to live at the moment during dun sa first Christmas o yung sa birth ni Jesus? What kind of courage did it take to obey God? So, what are we going to talk about this afternoon is about the first story, the first Christmas story from a perspective of courage and cowardice. And I will be sharing to you different stories ng mga characters involved dun sa first Christmas story. Okay, but first, let's define what courage first. So, ayan, may mga nakita ako mga quotes, pero yon, according sa dictionary, courage is the ability to do something that frightens one. And also, this is a strength in the face of pain and grief. And in one of the quotes na nakita ko, ang nakasulat dyan is, ayan, courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting on the premise that there is something more important than fear. And another one is courage is resistance to fear. Mastery of fear, not absence of fear. So marami pa tayong makikita if you're going to ask Uncle Google, visit tayo sa kanya, marami tayong makikitang words or marami tayong makikitang quotes and definition about courage. But I just want to highlight that if we're going to talk about courage, para lang same level of understanding tayo ngayon sa pag-uusapan natin this afternoon. Same yung naka-present dito. When we talk about courage, hindi siya ibig sabihin na absent na yung fear natin. Okay, so yun lang yung gusto kong linawin sa atin. And let's start dun sa courage at the first Christmas. So yung first is the courage to trust God. Sabi dito, faith is having the courage to let God have control. So, are you allowing God to take control of your life? Or who is taking control of your life? Is it God? Is it you? Paano ka ba nag-ooperate? And we have so many stories in the Bible na yun din yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon. And one of the stories that I'm going to share to you is yung kay Zechariah and kay Elizabeth. So in the book of Luke, in the Bible, the first characters we read about in the Christmas story are two people named Zechariah and Elizabeth. Zechariah and Elizabeth were married, but they did not have any children. They wanted children to help take care of them in their old age and give them grandchildren. And also, dun sa panahon natin ngayon, di ba, ito din yung nagiging dream. And ito yung nagiging gusto nilang mangyari. But kung bakit gusto nila magkaroon ng anak. So, same din siya sa story ni Zechariah and Elizabeth before. But, they have never been able to have any. And now, they were too old. So, yun, if nabasa niyo yung story na ito, di ba? So, tagal mo siyang hinihingi, ang tagal mo siyang hinihintay, pero hindi siya binibigay sa kanila. So, possible reaction nila, they could have become afraid of what could happen to them as they grew older, or they could have become angry at God for not giving them what they desired most. And based on Luke chapter 1 verse 6, ayan, instead of becoming angry and fearful, Zechariah and Elizabeth choose to obey and follow God, trusting Him to take care of them. Next is, this is a lesson for us. Things do not always turn out like we want them to. But when we have the courage to trust God, He will always make things turn out the best way. And, di ba, it's not a bad thing for us to want something very badly. Like, for example, ito talaga yung gusto ko mangyari sa buhay ko. Or, ito yung something that I really want to achieve na ayokong matapos yung buhay ko nang hindi ko siya nakukuha. So, it's okay na mag-dream tayo nun. But sometimes, we get so focused on what we want that we start to become afraid or mad about not getting it. Kasi ang naging focus natin, hindi. Eto, kailangan ko siyang makuha. Gusto ko siyang makuha. So, ang nangyayari, nakakalimutan na natin yung why natin or yung intention natin or the reason bakit natin ginusto na magkaroon ng bagay na yun. So, what can we do to keep ourselves from becoming afraid or mad? And ikaw, think of that goal or think of that vision right now or think of that something, yung isang bagay na gustong-gusto mo mangyari pero hindi mo pa siya nakukuha. Paano ka nagre-react doon? And how's yourself pagka ganun yung situation? Paano mo siya nababantayan? Or nababantayan ba natin siya? Or aware ba tayo na may mga iba-iba tayong reaction dun sa pagkuha natin ng mga dreams na yon? And yes, yun nga, pagka hindi natin siya nakuha, ano yung nangyayari sa atin? So, yun. Do we have the courage to trust God in that situation? Or are we doing something, lahat na lang para sure tayo na makuha natin yung pinakagusto nating bagay? Okay? Next is unexpected courage. So, when we talk about unexpected courage, what comes into your mind pagka sinabing unexpected courage? May ganun pala, no? Ako, ito nung una ko rin siyang nabasa, wow, ano ba yon? Bakit natin nasabi na unexpected courage siya? So, the second point, we'll talk about the story of Mary. So, in the Christmas story, we meet, di ba, si Mary, a girl engaged to a man named Joseph. And these days, couples do not usually become engaged until they are in their 20s or older. In Mary's day, girls much younger were considered old enough to get married. So, yun yung concept nun before. And before that time, instead of going to school, a Jewish girl spent her time learning how to be a good wife and mother by helping around the house, caring for younger siblings, and learning the songs, Jewish law, and history of heritage of her people. Although the Bible does not tell us exactly how old Mary was, she was visited by the angel Gabriel. What we just talked about shows us that she was probably a young teenager. So some of the Bible scholars, they are saying na si Mary daw was 14 years old that time, and other scholars naman, they are saying na 12 years old siya. Pero hindi na po natin pagtatalunan how old noon si Mary. But the point in this topic is teenager pa siya noon or bata pa si Mary that time. And we do know that Mary's parents had already arranged for her to marry Joseph, as in arranged na siya lahat. And she was probably expected to become a mother not long after getting married. So that sounds really strange, di ba? Kasi yung sa panahon natin right now, ikaw yung anak mo or ikaw mismo ay okay sa'yo na may ibang magsa-set up, hindi ikaw yung pipili? Or would you like your parents to pick out the person you were going to marry? Di ba probably parang mababa ng probability na may mag-yes doon. But for Mary, Mary thought that was perfectly normal. And during that time, ito yung message na sinabi sa kanya ni Angel Gabriel. So don't be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you will name him Jesus. So if you will put yourself dun sa position ni Mary that time, if you're married, tapos may pumunta sa yung angel, tapos ito yung sinabi sa'yo, you're virgin, engaged ka, ikakasal ka pa lang, hindi pa nga kayo married ni Joseph, tapos sasabihin, magiging pregnant ka. So, how are you going to react? Ano yung magiging reaction mo? O ngayon, kung sa ngayong panahon yan, possible ba na makasal ka pa rin? Di ba, ang daming ganong mga issue na buntis, tapos, di ba, naiiwanan. So, for Mary, iba yung naging response niya eh. So, for Mary, ayan, ito yung isa sa mga key points nito. Sometimes, God calls us to do things that seem strange to us. Yung mga bagay na, alam mo, God, ito ba talaga yung gagawin ko? Ikaw pa talaga nagbigay nito? Papagawa mo ba talaga to sa akin? Di ba, mga ganong moment tayo. But we can learn from Mary what it means to be full of courage, even when God's instructions are unexpected. So, unexpected events can set you back or set you up. It's all a matter of perspective. So, in everything that happens, that is happening in our life, how are we going to react? And, di ba, it's a matter of perspective daw. And how do we see things? Yun, di ba, dun sa first point natin kanina, di ba, let's say may klaro kang plano or may gusto kang mangyari pero hindi natin alam kung mangyari siya talaga kasi plan mo pa lang siya. So ngayon, doon sa unexpected courage natin is, eto, Mary and Joseph, may plan sila, magpapakasal sila, tapos engage, ganon. Tapos biglang papasok, pregnant? Bakit ganon? So, di ba, there are times in a life na meron talaga tayong plan. And then biglang papasok, eto yung God's plan. So, God's plan versus our plans. How are we going to react? How are we going to respond? How are we going to accept it? Or are we going to accept it ba? So, yun. Ikaw, kamusta po tayo kung may mga ganong moment tayo? So, yun yung second. Yung third natin is the courage to obey. So, courage to obey, ano ba yung obey or obedience na pinag-uusapan natin dito? So, for this one, we're going to talk about Joseph naman. So, kanina si Mary, now, yung partner niya si Joseph. So, di ba may overview na tayo, ano yung kay Mary? Now is Joseph. So, natatandaan ba natin si Joseph? So, the man who was engaged to Mary, he heard a pretty crazy story one day and he didn't know what to think. Kasi di ba, biglang ganun na yung mangyari. He discovered that Mary was going to have a baby, but he and Mary were not married yet. She said, she had been visited by angel o si Gabriel nga who told her she would have God's son. But that story sounded too hard to believe. And Joseph decided that he probably should not marry her at all. So may ganun siyang decision. Siyempre, may ganun siyang thoughts. And would you have been afraid of taking care of Jesus? So, di ba, ikaw yung, si Joseph, tapos siya na yung magiging father ni Jesus, no? According to Jewish custom, a young man learned a trade and established himself in a job before getting married. So, kanina, we understand na yung preparation pag babae, yung sila Mary, yung preparation niya is becoming a mother. So, pag-aaralan niya paano yung sa bahay, gano'n. So, dito naman, ganito naman yung kay Joseph. So, he could support a wife and children. So, Joseph was a carpenter, which meant he built things out of wood or possibly stone, which was a more common building material in Israel. He could support a family, but that did not mean he was rich. He could a poor man like him. How could a poor man like him care for the King of Kings? So yun yung challenge dito kay Joseph. And ang kay Joseph naman, Joseph wasn't chosen because he was a smart man. Sabi nga, he's a carpenter and he is not a rich man or a famous man. Joseph was chosen because he was a yes man. Meaning is, he's obeying. So whatever God tells him to do, yes, may mga challenges. And di ba, there's hesitation pa rin kay Joseph noon. And hindi niya ganun agad na-acknowledge or hindi niya agad ganun na-accept yung situation. However, nag-yes pa rin siya. And during that time, meron naman talaga siyang option eh. First, he could divorce her publicly and shame her in court or justice kasi malaking kasalanan yan sa kanila during that time. Or he could put her away secretly by means of a private divorce. So, ano ba yung ginawa ni Joseph? 'Di ba hindi naman niya talaga iniwan din si Mary. And nagpakita din or kinausap din siya ng angel. And Joseph decided to make the courageous choice instead of the easy choice. He chose to obey God and follow through with his commitment to Mary. This sa third point natin, the courage to obey. In what point of your life na ito yung courage na dapat meron ka ngayon or nakikita mo na dapat nandito ka? Or 'di ba may mga task tayo, may mga mission tayo, may mga responsibilities or assignments tayo na nabibigay sa atin na hindi talaga madalas, hindi talaga siya tumatama dun sa gusto natin talagang mangyari. Yung pag ikaw talaga yung tinanong, alam mong hindi eh. Pero dahil sa it's a mission from God, it's an assignment from God, or this is a responsibility from God, you're going to have this courage to obey. Kasi nga, you know God, you love God, and you know na there's a purpose kung bakit ito yung pinapagawa niya sa'yo. So, yun. Are you in the point of your life na nandito ka ba sa courage to obey? And is it easy for you to obey? Kung hindi siya ganun kadali, paano mo pa rin siya nagagawa? 'Di ba? If we agree na ako talaga hindi mahirap talaga to sa akin na yung obedience, yun. 'Di ba sabi nga ni God, obedience is better than sacrifice. Kasi sometimes tayo, 'di ba, may mga thinking tayo na Lord, ito yung gagawin ko, parang mag-volunteer ako, magdo-donate ako. For me, that's sacrifice. Pero hindi naman kasi yun yung hinihingi ni God sa atin eh. Ang gusto niya mangyari is, ito yung sinabi ko sa'yo, ito yung gawin mo, are you willing to obey? So, how's your heart? Pagka nandun ka na sa ng moment. Kasi ang nagiging, ako yung dati talaga, na hindi ko pa talaga siya naiintindihan or nakaka-focus talaga ako sa gusto kong mangyari. Nandun ako sa side na pag-volunteer, nandun ako sa side na tumutulong ako sa ibang tao. Ang point ko is, God, tumutulong naman ako eh, so okay na to. Pero hindi kasi yun yung assignment na binigay niya sa'yo eh. So, yun. So, dito ka. So, paano yung processing natin? How are we going to obey? And are we going to have this courage to obey God? Okay. So, yung next is, wow. Okay, so kanina, di ba, puro courage na, may unexpected, tapos ito naman, a man without courage. So, are you still familiar dito sa man na to? si King Herod. So we like to talk about what it looks like when people have courage. But what happens when people decide to not be courageous? Ano yung possible result? So for example, ikaw, nag-decide ka na, hindi na ako courageous, or ano yung gagawin mo, or ano yung mangyayari? So, yung Christmas story natin shows us an example of someone who was not courageous. His name was, I'm not sure kung na-download ko yung right picture niya, pero ayan, for illustration lang po, ayan, si King Herod, and he was a king over the Jews when Jesus was born. We often think of a king as a courageous person, di ba? Pero sa kanya, hindi ganun yung nangyari. Kasi di ba, alam natin yung mga kings, powerful, matapang, and leader talaga. But for this one, hindi. Kasi ang nangyari nun is nakakuha siya ng balita na alam mo yun na may baby na napanganak, tapos ang alam niya is powerful yung baby na yon. So, ang nangyari is natakot siya. And alam niya kasi na since God is the king over all, he is more powerful than evil kings like Herod. And God had a plan to protect Jesus from evil King Herod. And we have already talked about the courage Mary and Joseph showed as they obeyed God's instructions that the angels told them before Jesus was born. So the courage stayed with them when an angel appeared to Joseph in another dream to help them protect Jesus from this king. Okay? And then, ang pinakatakot kasi nitong king na to is, alam mo yun, nandun na sa kanya yung, mawala sa kanya yung power na meron siya. And imagine, di ba? Imagine, sabi nga dito, Herod's fear made him very, very mean and evil. So, why evil? Kasi he wanted to kill the baby. Imagine you are the king, tapos nabalitaan mo lang na ito yung baby, tapos papapatay mo. Anong power ng baby para malabanan ka, di ba? So, how evil are you? So, yun siya. And sa situation na buhay natin, sometimes we are a victim of that, na nandun tayo sa situation na, alam mo yun na, may powerful na person, tapos dahil dun sa power niya, gagamitin niya against you. Di ba may mga ganon? And when we choose fear instead of trusting that God can give us courage, we become afraid of little things. And we become hateful and mean to the people around us. So, are you that person na, ayan, iba-iba din tayo ng definition ng mean pero ang point dito is, nata-threaten ba tayo ng ibang tao? Or yun nga, nawawala kasi yung courage, tapos nagfo-focus tayo dun sa nawawalan tayo ng power. So feeling natin pag ganun na, hindi na tayo ma-recognize. So are you like this man, a man without courage? So, yun. And we learn stories about people like King Herod so we can know what can happen when we choose not to have the courage to trust God. So, what choice will you make? Are you going to trust God? Or are you going to focus on yourself? Are you going to trust yourself? And kung yung last, yung pipiliin mo, possible na eto ka, maging si King Herod yung maging kakalabasan nun. Okay, so yung last point natin is a courageous journey. Ito yung yung three kings na sinasabi natin. And what do you do when things do not go according to plan? Kasi 'di ba, yung sa kanila, 'di ba journey 'yon sa kanya. So for many years these wise men had studied old writings that said the special king will be born to rule over the Jews. Their studies told them that a special star will let them know when this special king was supposed to be born. Can you imagine how excited they were when they finally saw the star that they had been waiting for? Kasi ang tagal mo nag-aral, tagal mo nag-study, naabangan mo yun, tapos dumating na. And they wanted to go see this new king and worship him. But that meant a long journey and they were not exactly sure where they were supposed to go. They just knew they were supposed to follow that special star. After traveling for a long, long time, they stopped at what they thought was logical place to find a special Jewish king, the place in Jerusalem. So, yung sa kanila is, we're calling it courageous journey. Kasi hinanap mo lang yung star. Tapos yung fate talaga is, you know na may baby, you know na eto na yung king. And ikaw, if we're going to relate it to your life, how's your journey right now? And yun nga yung isang question natin dito, what do you do when things do not go according to your plan? And the wise man choose to have courage and keep following the special star even when they had no idea where they were going. Imagine, di ba? So, sa isang star, doon ka lang nakafollow kasi yun lang yung napag-aralan nyo. Pero, are you sure with that star? Pero sila, hindi, tuloy pa rin sila and they follow that star. And can you imagine how excited they were when they finally saw the star that they had been waiting for? So, ikaw, ano yung star ng buhay mo ngayon? Ano yung star na that you keep on following? Ano yung star na gino-journey mo ngayon? O do you have that star? Kasi if you don't have that star, kamusta yung journey mo ngayon? Paano ka nagjo-journey? Saan papunta yung journey mo? Do you have that one goal? Do you have that one vision? Do you have that star in your life? Meron ba? Kasi if not, ayan, connect with Coach Rizel. Andito yung number niya. So, let us help you to discover, to see that star in your life. Para makita natin na na-fulfill natin yung journey natin, para nakita natin na may na-achieve tayo or papunta or papalapit tayo doon sa achievement nung star na yon. And balik ko lang dito sa isang question, what do you do when things do not go according to plan? So yun sa kanila kasi 'di ba, nag-follow sila doon. Tapos ang daming iba-ibang nangyari doon sa journey nila, as in, so marami. And 'di ba yung na-meet din nila si King Herod, and then ang expectation is babalik sila kay King para sabihin kung nasan si Jesus. Tapos alam mo yung nag-iba ulit yung journey nila. And kapag may mga gano'n na biglang naiiba yung journey, ganyan, ano yung mangyayari and how are you going to react din? How are you going to respond? So sila nun, trust lang din talaga. And sobrang, ayan, kaya ang title niya nung last na to is Courageous Journey. So yun guys, again, ano yung star ng buhay mo ngayon? Hindi po sino. Oh. Sige, kung gusto yung sino, okay, sino din siya. Pero ano yung isang star mo ngayon na gino-journey mo na gusto mo talaga siyang ma-achieve? So kung isa ka dito sa three wise men na to, ano yung star mo na dyan? Ano yung pinupuntahan mo ngayon? At yung mga ginagawa mo ba ngayon, makaka-contribute ba yan? Yung mga action steps mo ngayon, yung mga activities mo today, makakatulong ba yan para mapalapit ka dyan sa star na ini-aim mo? So, ano yung star ng buhay mo ngayon? Okay? So, yun guys, yun yung 5 na courage natin at the first Christmas. First, we talk about the courage to trust God. Next is the unexpected courage, the courage to obey, a man without courage, and last is a courageous journey. Sa season ng buhay mo ngayon, nasaan courage ka dito? Or ano yung courage na kailangan mo ngayon? Kailangan ba ng courage? So, sabi natin kanina, yes. And anong courage yun? And how can we help you to discover or samahan ka dyan sa courage na yan or kung journey na yan? And what courage do you have right now? What courage do you want to have in 2021? Guys, ilang araw na lang end na yung 2020. How's your 2020? And ilang days na lang ba before Christmas? 8 days? 8 days to go before Christmas. Tapos nun, ilang weeks na lang, New Year na, 2021 na. What courage do you want to have in 2021? And how do you want to face life today? How do you want to face life next year, yung 21? Are we courage enough to face 2021? Are we ready? Okay, so yan. Nasaan ka dito ngayon? Okay? And here are some of the lessons siguro na I can share from, lessons from dun sa first Christmas natin. So yung first is, God's plan is much, much bigger than yours. Ako dati, when I graduated dun sa college, nakaplano kasi talaga yung buhay ko na gusto ko after graduation, mag-take akong board exam, tapos mag-engineer, tapos mag-focus ako ng planta. Yun talaga yung goal ko noon. Gusto ko talaga yung trabaho nasa planta ako kasi feel ko na engineer ako pag nasa planta. Parang ganun siya. But alam mo yun, after graduation, ilang beses po ako nag-take ng board exam at ilang beses din ako bumagsak. So, hindi ko siya maintindihan that time na okay, nag-aral ka naman, gano'n, pero bakit bagsak ka pa rin? So, yun, tapos hanggang sa 2017, after 10 years, guys, imagine after 10 years, binigay pa rin naman ni God. Alam mo yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina na trust, yung kay Elizabeth and si Garaya, na gaano yung trust mo kay God? Kasi pwede kasing sabihin ni God na ibibigay niya yan sa'yo. Pero, hindi naman niya sinabi yung timeline. Okay, so yung sa akin nun is, ako kasi may sariling timeline. But kaninong timeline ba yung sinusundan natin? Timeline ni God o timeline natin? Okay, and, ayun, syempre hindi din natin alam, di naman, yes, God answers prayers, pero yung specific, yung timeline, gaano tayo yung kamusta yung relationship natin kay God para marinig natin yung message niya sa atin. And yun, yung sa akin is yun, ang galing lang kasi right after passing the board exam, biglang ang daming nag-open na doors. And yung isa sa professor ko nung college, sinabi niya sa akin na right after passing the board exam nga daw, ang bilis nung yung growth sa career ko. So pagkapasa next as in sunod-sunod na siya even sa position sa company. So ganun siya. So yun nga, if you're going to trust God, parang you're going to surrender everything. Tapos, okay, God, so let your will be done in my life. So, yun siya. So, yun isang lesson natin sa first Christmas. Next is, a door will always open to let us in if we knock. Again, lahat naman pwedeng mabigay sa'yo. Lahat, whatever plans, whatever, anong tawag dito, goals or vision na gusto mong ma-achieve. Or yung, di ba yung question ko kanina, ano yung star na ini-aim mo? Ano yung star ng buhay mo ngayon? And kung nasa journey ka para ma-achieve yung star na yon, are you journeying with God or are you journeying alone? So, and kung wala ka pang star, naisip mo pa lang siya, okay, so kailangan ko pala, dapat alam ko pala kung ano yung star ko ngayon. Ayan, a door will always open to let us in if we knock. Wala namang imposible kay God, kahit ano pwedeng hingin mo sa Kanya. Kailangan lang natin is mag-knock tayo and let Him know na kailangan mo yun. Okay? Yes, lahat naman ng nasa thoughts natin, lahat ng iniisip natin, nasa puso natin, alam ni God. Pero alam mo yung power ng prayer. Yung prayer kasi, hindi yun sa hindi siya talaga para kay God kundi para sa'yo yan. Na when you are praying for something, when you want to achieve something, habang sinasabi mo siya, habang pinagpe-pray mo siya, it's really, checking of the heart. How joyful are you na kapag pinagpe-pray mo yung bagay na yun? Kasi 'di ba, may mga prayers tayo na alam mo yung may mga moment tayo na ganitong time gustong-gustong, alam mo yung may gigil tayo na gusto nating siyang ma-achieve. Pero once we achieve yung bagay na yun, hindi naman pala siya yung talaga magpapasaya sa atin or hindi naman pala siya yung magbibigay ng fulfillment sa buhay natin. So ngayon, ang point lang dito is lahat ba ng gusto mo mangyari sa buhay mo, kumakatok ka ba sa Kanya? Okay, baka naman kasi kaya ka hindi pinagbubuksan kasi hindi ka naman kumakatok. Kaya kasi wala ka kasi hindi ka naman humihingi. So paano ka magkakaroon kung hindi ka humihingi? Kami di ba dito sa life coaching, we always say na okay, help is always available. Pero how can we help you? Pero kung hindi mo sasabihin na kailangan mo ng tulong, kung hindi mo sasabihin na kung ano yung tulong na kailangan mo. So ganun din siya dito sa second point natin. And yung last point natin is, the journey may be difficult, but it will be worth it. Like yung sa journey, yung courageous journey, or yung journey ng 3 wise men. Hindi naman sinabi sa Bible, or hindi sinabi dun na share natin kanina na madali yung journey nila. Wala pong journey na madali. Kasi nga, journey nga siya. So we are learning doon, we are growing. Lahat yon magiging worth it. But kailan natin siya masasabing worth it? Pag nandun na tayo sa destination na yun, sa destination na gusto nating marating. And if you're going to stop to that journey, hindi mo makikita yung destination na gusto mo. Hindi mo makukuha yung star na gusto mo. And the journey may be difficult. Ayan. in our own lives, there will be times when we will face hardships and feel like giving up. But just like Mary and Joseph, we can soldier on. And when we finally reach our destination, we will realize that all the obstacles we had to overcome only serve to make our victory sweeter. When times are tough, we just need to keep on going until we reach the light at the end of the tunnel or until we reach the star that we are dreaming of. And who knows, we may even discover our very own miracle when we get there. And ako, ang prayer ko lang sa atin, ayan, para sa mga nanonood, and if you're going to watch this on a replay, ang pinaka-prayer ko lang talaga is ma-experience natin yung joy that we are sharing. Ako yung sineshare ko din. Madali kasing magkwento, pero yung pinaka-prayer ko is gusto kong ma-experience nating lahat. Ma-experience nyo yung joy that I experience journeying with God. So yun. And yung last message is, trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Okay, listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He is the one who will keep you on track. Okay, so parang siya na yung compass natin. And ayan, when you say, yun nga, yung trust, alam mo yung pag nag-trust, ganito, pagka nag-pray ka, let God be God, di ba? Sometimes kasi tayo, pagka nagpe-pray tayo, binibigyan natin timeline si God, binibigyan natin ng condition si God. So, bakit ka pa nag-pray? So, ikaw na lang kaya si God, di ba? So, yun. Yun nga, guys. Ito lang yung pinaka-sharing ko this afternoon. And last question, what's your Christmas star? What is your star? And ano yung journey mo ngayon? So, what is that one dream that that God has given to you? And are you doing your plans or God's plan in your life? How do you respond in God's message to you? And last, what is your star? All right. So, yun guys. And that's the end of the presentation. And in behalf of Cup Coffee Republic and Coach A Coaching Club, we want to thank you all for being part of this journey. You can watch the replay of all the episodes. Guys, imagine season 4 na tayo. So from season 1 to season 4, inside dito sa Facebook page of Cup Coffee Republic and Life Coach Philippines. You can also check on Coach AI Connect YouTube channel for high definition video of this episode. Remember to subscribe to the channel so that you can get alerts when new video becomes available. And guys, if you have questions, clarifications, if you need support, contact Coach Rizel. Nandito sa ito yung number niya. And also, these are my contact details. Please like yung page ko. That's Coach Lyn Garcia. You can also visit my YouTube channel. Nandun yung mga coaching talks ko and other educational talks. And yan, you can also connect with me. And if you are that one person na hindi pa klaro yung 2021 mo or hindi mo pa alam kung ano ba yung star na i-reach mo for 2021 or for this season in your life, just connect with us. Pag-usapan natin yon. Let us know how can we help you. Okay, so again, thank you for joining me this afternoon. Tomorrow, our episode is How to Beat Christmas Blues by Coach Heidi. So another exciting topic, guys. So be sure to join us back at 12 noon. So again, this is Coach Lyn. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Love, bam, boom. Bye-bye.